Bunch of little kids playing in that yard. You can see all their giant collection of playscapes. Pretty sure it's some kind of daycare, like from a home type thing. This is the first time in a long time there hasn't been. There was one thing in this tree here. There was a piece of paper on the tree for days and days and days in a row. And so finally I just kind of got like paranoid slash, I don't know, egomaniac, and I thought for sure somebody had left me a note. Because I walk past there every day. So finally I opened it and it was just a blank piece of paper. It was a little crestfallen. Sit. Okay. Actually, the only time I've ever seen a lemonade stand was this house here. A couple years ago. I felt really bad because I didn't have any money, because I didn't have my wallet with me. Oh, their house is for sale and sold.
Good
Well, I guess they,
house.
yeah, in Marysville, that's a big deal. Then I found out later that he was raising money for their Young Republicans Club, so I didn't feel nearly as bad about not buying his lemonade.
Oh.
In this house, I swear that truck with the big wheels has been in that exact same position since time immemorial. Like, I don't know if it's ever left the driveway. That's just one of the most extreme examples of this town never changing. Sit. Okay. This crossing is always interesting. It's a four-way stop, but there's only two crosswalks. Granted, there's not a sidewalk on that side of this street, but I don't know, I just always thought that was weird. This house, they installed an electric, like, underground fence a few years ago, and they had this sign that says dog in training with well, see, that says dog protected by. This one was dog in training. And I saw a dog down the street just kind of wandering around, like clearly not in the yard it was supposed to be. So I actually went up to their house and knocked and asked if maybe their fence wasn't working, but nobody was home. I just felt awkward because I walked up to their porch with my two dogs. It's like, I don't know, if I opened the door I would think that was strange, but I would also want somebody to tell me if my dog ran away. Turned out it wasn't their dog anyway. You can see it's definitely a barrier. Like, their dog is usually out in their yard running around, and it will like run at us and then just stop in the middle of its yard. So it knows where the barrier is, and it's just interesting, like its motion is impeded. And so then it runs around in circles in its yard until we like walk considerably past it. That house used to be yellow. Not recently though. It's been a couple years. The storm drain is kind of 50-50 whether it's worth sniffing or not. Today it was, I guess. Has it rained here recently?
A couple days ago it was drizzly, but no big rain, just a little drizzle. Wednesday.
May, you're gonna chafe your armpit. So this is not the home stretch, but it's the second to last piece of the walk. I don't know, I break it into segments based on where we cross streets and whatnot. And it's kind of even more familiar since even before the dogs, this was the way to school, elementary school. And I can definitely say that, aside from a few house colors, it's the same as it was in 1995, 1996. I guess I don't really know what I expect to change, though. But maybe that's because I'm from here. Don't know what change looks like.
Would you want things to be in a constant state of change?
No.
People don't like that.
Well, people here don't like that. People elsewhere thrive on that. So this blue house has a Great Dane and a Weimaraner, like giant dogs, and they always just stand and stare at mine, like timidly. They're like, oh God, please don't come into our yard because we can't defend it, even though we're both twice your size. One time I saw them giving their Great Dane a bath in a kiddie pool, and it was just very comic because it didn't really fit. And then I always like to juxtapose them with this next house, which is the Basset Hound house I mentioned earlier. They don't seem to be out today.
Until we get by the garage. Sometimes that's where they are.
I wonder if they're gonna spite pee in the yard.
Thinking about it.
No, wow. Oh, maybe this part. Yeah, there it is.
Take that, Basset Hounds.
So the Basset Hounds, if they were loose, as soon as we were a few houses down, they'd run out and pee in that same spot. All of them. I'm surprised the grass isn't dead there. Oh, yeah, they saw us. They're in the fenced-in yard, though. They always remind me of that, the neighbors from Christmas Story. The Bumpkus dogs,
Yeah,
I think.
Bumpkus. Those are bloodhounds.
Yeah, but the same just pack of ridiculous-looking dogs. I don't know. Basset Hounds look silly. Maybe I'm biased against them because they've attacked us so many times. Like, they're not small dogs, but they're low-to-the-ground dogs. That's weird.
Listen to him.
This guy has a giant fenced-in yard, and I've only ever seen him with he has a small dog, and I've only ever seen him in his backyard, like, with his dog on a retractable leash. Like, why do you have a fence if you're not gonna let it run? Maybe it got out somehow, so he has to. This house has four-wheelers and, like, dirt bikes and stuff, and for whatever reason, they'll run them up and down the street, like, ad nauseum. And it's not little kids who just, like, think that's hilarious. It's just, like, grown people. They're, like, not enjoying it. I don't know if that's some sort of proper maintenance for those sort of vehicles or what, but it's really annoying. And it's really loud. Let's see. That house over there with the ramp is the one where I slipped and fell during the Salvation Army food drive. It's much icier than it looked. And the house next to them, actually, because our yards are laid out so oddly, that's actually the house behind our house. And they don't like us that much. Mo, when she was young, used to run to their house all the time. To be fair, though, I'm pretty sure their dog, who is another big Mo, was pooping in our backyard.
Yeah, she was.
And my father's convinced they're responsible for our yard flooding all the time since they raised theirs illegally, so. We all have a grudge to bear. It's a family tradition. This red house is rumored to be a halfway house, which, given how much it looks like a compound, seems likely to be true.
I don't think it's a rumor.
I'm pretty sure I've only ever seen the staff, and they're always very friendly, and they always compliment me on my dogs, and I'm always just kind of unsure of how to respond. One time though, I did see two people with a probably 12-year-old kid, and they both had one of his arms, and they were leading him back to the house, and he was screaming. So it's usually a puddle because there's like a permanent tire rut in their yard where their van was parked forever, and so May would always check it, but it seems to have been filled in. So, small change, I suppose. You can still see this house, the remains of a tree that used to be there. And just, I swear, for months, their yard was full of debris. And I'd always see them out there like working to clean it up, just the house owners though, not a company or anything. So it was like, wow, does a tree really leave that much behind when it's gone?
It was a big tree.
Obviously,
Look
yeah.
A big tree.
That is a big tree. So I guess it just really does take that. Oh, they cut down like all their trees. There's more stumps. That's it. They also have a yellow lab that barks at us all the time.
Got a car to wait for.
That's it. There's another car turning left there. This is the stupidest intersection in the whole city. There's like 6 roads, 6 ways you have to look. But I can't change the route because they know our route and they get mad. If you try to turn right out the driveway instead of left, they don't like that. There's a slow left turn. Okay. So now we're on the home stretch, and these bushes, they're always large and unkempt, and fascinating smells inside them. It's actually a lot better than usual. Normally May's like dived in and crawling on her belly.
If you'd gone this way first, she would have done that.
Well, I never go this way first though.
But I've been doing that.
Yeah, because you do it wrong.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying she was doing the army crawl getting under there.
Also, this driveway, whenever it rains, floods. Like, the entire driveway floods. So we always have to walk around it. Sometimes I walk through it, just for fun. And then they're all muddy and wet when we get home. That guy over there actually does sit out in his driveway, like, every day. So he would be the one person who could actually attest that I walk them every day. Our neighbor's house here has actually changed colors probably more times than any other house in history. Speaking of unkempt bushes, here's ours.
Hey.
Not so bad, I guess. Could be worse. And Mo knows where we live and May doesn't, so Mo takes the turn. Very sharply. She almost pulled me into the bush there. And as you can see, a little less energy pulling back up the driveway as opposed to leaving. Now they stop at the door and they don't like it when I have to go past it and throw this away. You see Mo's like trying to pull me back. Oh, come a little further. Oh, you can hear the weird dog bark. May's not barking back this time though.
He needs a drink.
May's got other priorities. That was a good one. And we'll end this with
Drink.
watching them drink because it's kind of fun. Mo's really bad at keeping water in her mouth, so she's like a waterfall when she comes up for air. And I swear their tongues get bigger after a walk. They hang out of their mouth and they're huge.
What up, girls?
Yep, there you got to see a little bit of it. And May like licks her lips, Mo's lips, because they're so wet. We'll see if we can get a shot of her tongue hanging out of her mouth too. Whenever she finishes. Oh, it's empty. That's not why she stopped. There's Mo's. Oh, it's...
There we go.
Want some more?
Alright, Aaron, you tell me when to cut here.
What?
Are we done?
Yeah.